Hi guys, Debbie Pitts Palmer here, DPP, coming to you live. So the subject is, when there is a will, we will make a way. When there is a will, we will make a way. So let me tell you what I'm saying. What do I mean when I say this? I remember when I became a consultant, and I remember saying, I don't want to do parties. And that was like one of the reasons why I didn't want to do this. Like, I don't want to be bothering somebody. I felt like I was going to be bothering somebody. Well, and I also thought about the time that I thought I did not have, because I worked a full-time job. I'm a mother and I'm a caregiver. So, like, how can I fit this in? So let me tell you guys, my schedule is like so crazy. I would leave home at 6:30 in the morning. And I had to be at work at 8 o'clock in the morning. My daughter actually went to school a whole hour away from where we live. And she didn't get out of school till like 8 at night because she had practice, because she was involved in all kind of things. She's in 3 choirs, basketball, volleyball, dance, you name it. This girl was doing everything. So I had to wait until she finished all that. We didn't get home like 9 o'clock at night. So how do you fit something in when your hours look like that? Working full time, not getting home until real late at night. But when there is a will, we will make a way. So that's what I did. I made a way because I had the will to make it work. Now, when I started working events, let me tell you guys, I didn't have a whole lot. I had my starter kit. As a Scentsy consultant, we all get some type of starter kit. So I had a starter kit. Now I remember taking the starter kit to my first event. This particular event, I think there were about 1,000 people there. So my sponsor was there, and one of my new team members, she was there. And we sold one item. Out of 1,000 people, I remember selling one mini warmer. It was called plug-in back then, and one bar. And that mini warmer was $15 back then. That's all I sold. At an event where there were at least 1,000 people there. And the event was like from 1 o'clock in the afternoon to like 6. But let me tell you what I gained from that, guys. The connections, the people that I met. We had drawing slips, so we collected information. And one lady was so impressed with what we had, she joined. So it's not always about the sales. It's not all about the orders. It's about those connections that you make when you're there. So I remember working the next event, and this particular event, one of my uplines was working the event, and she shared it with me and my team members. And I can remember not having a dolly, and I had just a handful of things. And I remember walking in with my Scentsy little plastic bags. That's all I had. I walked into the place with the bags, and I remember seeing other vendors with dollies, and I'm like, dollies? Nobody told me anything about a dolly. So I was actually carrying stuff in, making multiple trips, carrying things in. It's amazing how far I've come. So as I'm seeing, like, where do you get these dollies from? So I remember going to the store, buying a small little dolly, so I wouldn't have to make all those trips carrying things in my arms, because that's what I did. So once I got there, I'm like, people were bringing credit cards. Like, how do I do this? I didn't know. Nobody told me until I got this from another person, like, how you take payments. And I later learned that there was a program that I could actually download so I can be able to take payments. I learned I was learning as I go. So I made a lot of mistakes along the way, but I was learning as I was doing things, I learned. And my sponsor is a dear friend of mine, and she was new just like me. So we were learning together. I made a lot of mistakes at the beginning. And I remember when my upline invited me to this event, I was just hungry. I was hungry because I wanted to learn more. I was so determined. I spent a lot of time on YouTube. I spent a lot of time on my workstation, because since as Scentsy consultants, we have access to a back office we call workstation. So I spent a lot of time in there. I was so determined to make this work. And there were odds against me. For example, our business was not mobile. We could not use our phone to work our business. We did not have Facebook groups. We didn't have all the YouTube training that's out there now. We had some, but not like it is now. We didn't have the Zooms. And we had a program we had to download to our computer, which made it impossible to be mobile with it. So we had that going on too. Now, and during that time, I was not doing videos. I saw other consultants doing videos. I'm like, videos? I can't do that. I was too nervous. I felt like people would mark me, make fun of me. I literally thought that because I didn't think I spoke well enough. I didn't think that I was capable of sharing anything on a video, so I didn't do it. I didn't do videos for 7 years because of the fact that I didn't think I was capable of doing it. And I remember my first very large event was a home show. And I can remember the show, this event cost about $1,500. That's pretty expensive. So I knew that I wanted to work it, but I didn't have enough money. So what I did, I asked team members, could you go in with me? Can we do this together? So we just all pitched in and we paid $100 each, one of us. We all paid $100 piece. But we didn't have inventory. All we had was our starter kit. So each one of us, I think it was like 10 of us, all 10 of us brought our starter kit. And I can remember one of my team members even brought furniture from her house just so we could fill in the gaps in the booth. She brought furniture like tables and chairs just so we could fill the space. And she even went to Walmart and downloaded a picture and had it hanging in the booth just so it can, look like we had some stuff. But we didn't have anything. We had the starter kit. But what we did have was the drive to get out there and get the word out there. That's what we had. And I'm telling you, we made a lot of mistakes. Oh my goodness. But if it were not for the mistakes and the times that I tried, I wouldn't be where I am now. It was the willingness to get out there and try and make mistakes so that as we make mistakes, we correct those and we learn and we do better. So yeah, so that particular event, somebody joined. I mean, again, since it was new to the area, and we're just trying to feel this thing, just trying to feel our way through this Scentsy journey. I remember the next event that I worked, and each time I had to bring team members in because I never had enough products to have there so people could see it. I didn't have enough. Didn't have enough money to pay for things. And again, I still didn't have a decent dolly. I ended up buying a dolly, a flatbed one this time. Went and bought a dolly just so I wouldn't be making all those trips carrying things. It was a struggle, guys. Then I remember being so confused when we worked one of our events with all my team members, and we're trying to keep up with who sold what and who took orders from this person. Oh my goodness. It was a real challenge, but we got through it. We got through it. Now, I can also remember thinking, okay, my vehicle wasn't big enough to take the setup stuff. Like, what am I going to do now? Because I'm trying to move forward because some of my team members couldn't work events with me anymore. So how do you move forward to start leaning towards working events where you totally can bring your team members in to train? So I went from working my first event with my sponsor and my new team member. All of us were new, really. And we got one sale, but somebody joined. That was my very first event. Then the next one was a home show, and I had 10 people there, and we were just scrambling around not knowing what we were doing. We were really scrambling, trying to figure this thing out, but we did it. We made a lot of mistakes, but it was like growing pains. And then the next time after that, I remember working some events with team members, and it wasn't good. A lot of people were upset because people thought that they were taking customers and somebody thinking that they got that customer. We didn't know what we were doing. We were just all over the place. We didn't set any boundaries. We didn't set up expectations because we didn't know what we were doing. We were just out there feeling our way, trying to find our way. So, but I tell you guys, Uh, as I think back at one of my events where my upline, she's not even in the business anymore. And I didn't have the best experience. When I think back on it, didn't have the best experience. Sometimes some people are not willing to help. And she wasn't willing to help me. And I know that, but it made me go out there and do better for myself. Because sometimes you don't get what you're looking for. When you're hungry, you're out there and you're so determined to get it and make it. But some people, I guess, aren't as hungry. But I was hungry and I was determined because I knew that I needed to take care of my family. So when you're hungry, when I say hungry, hungry for information, hungry to learn. So and that's why I say I always want to be that better leader. I never want anybody to feel like the way I was treated. And it was bad to the point where people just pretty much block you. It was that. I went through that. But I'm so grateful that I'm beyond that. And I try to be a better leader. So my team members, I make a lot of mistakes. Nobody's perfect. But when it's something intentionally done, that's never good. But anything that I do, if it's a mistake, is done, not intentionally done. So even through all that, we still did great. And I remember, fast forward, starting to work events that I could set up by myself, but yet use them as a learning tool for my team members. And I was thinking, now, how in the world am I going to be able to set up stuff to my events because my vehicle was not big enough? And truly, God has truly blessed me so much with this business. I prayed about it. And look, I got a van. And my van, I can transport things. Yes, thank God for Scentsy. Income disclosure will go down below. I didn't have a vehicle big enough, but now I got a van. Because I was thinking to myself, do I need to go rent a van or something so I can be able to get stuff in and out? Get things transported. But thank God for Scentsy because I got a vehicle that I could transport things in. And I don't have to rely on others anymore. So when there's a will, there is a way. And because I'm thinking about from the very beginning from carrying things into my events, carrying them, making multiple trips, to having one of those like a dolly that tilt back. That was my first dolly. Then investing in one that roll out. I still have that when you kind of push it in, metal type of thing. I got that one. Then now I have wagons. So I have wagons now. Guys, these wagons are everything. I have 3 wagons. Actually, I've got 5 wagons, to be honest. I got 5 wagons. I got this really like ginormous wagon that holds a lot of stuff. Then I have these other wagons. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I never thought about wagons. Guys, wagons are everything. And those wagons, because they're so deep, they hold a lot. So when I work my big events, I can actually pull 2 wagons at a time. But another thing that I love most about the wagons is that when you fold them up, they fold up like umbrellas. So it makes it easy for storing in my van. So I love it. So now when I work my bigger events, I invite my team members to come for training. So they can come and network and get customers, get the training. This is what I do now. I advanced from where I was from an event where I got 1 order and I was there for hours to now where we are now. Bigger and better. So many people have joined from the events that I work because I work large events. I'm just so grateful because it took a lot. It takes a village. And so now I'm not a decorator, but the way we set things up is very attractive. And people are drawn to the beauty of our products. Whenever I do a display of our diffusers, that's what brings people to us. They love our products. People love the light, the changing color option on our diffusers. People love it. Like, what is that? What is it? So it draws people to us. And one thing I've learned when I work my events, I love having a table out front. Because having a table out front gives me, it's like I call it my conversation table. So it's out there. So as people walking by, they can touch, feel, and smell right there in front of them. Versus setting up a booth that looks like a U, that's something that I don't want to do anymore. I did that before, but it's so hard. It's hard to bring people into your booth. They don't want to do that. They don't want to feel pressure to do anything. They feel trapped. So I've learned that even on a 10 by 10 space, I've learned that having a table out front, even if it's a 4-foot table, is always better as people are walking by, because it gives you something to demonstrate right there on that table versus them feeling like they are forced to come inside of a place. Yeah, that works so much better. And I know because I've experienced them both. But I love what I do. And I'll tell you something else, guys. I love having conversations with my customers. I love my customers. I get to know them. Even though I'm terrible with names, I'm terrible with remembering names, but I love the stories that I hear from them. So I worked an event this week, and I had a chance to meet some new people and reunite with my older customers. But the stories that I've heard, the people who life has changed in every way, but then they share with me, and my life has changed because of them, and then they bring people to me. I love it. I don't know. And because of Scentsy, I am who I am. Because when I joined Scentsy, I did not have the courage to go live. I didn't even know how to copy and paste. When I joined Scentsy, I used to, when I worked my other job, we used a DOS version type of computer. So there was no copy and paste involved. So I didn't know how to copy and paste. I learned how to copy and paste since I've been a Scentsy consultant. I learned how to gain confidence. I taught myself how to have the confidence to ask since I've been a consultant. All of this has not always been there. I'm relatively a very quiet person. I would not talk to people unless they talk to me. But because I've been with Scentsy, Scentsy has given me the courage to share what I do, to share my excitement, to share my joy, to share the things that Scentsy has done for me since I've been with the business. So I always tell people, I'm not a salesperson. I am a share person. Nobody wants to be sold to. So I share stories. I share the product. I share my experiences. People love to know recommendations. What would you choose? Why would you choose it? How long does this work? So these are the things that I get to share with people as I'm talking to them about anything that we have to share. So I have come a mighty long way. When I joined Scentsy, guys, I had 23 friends on Facebook. That's all I had, 23. And I worked in an office where there were only like 2 people in the office, a small office. So I was not around people. And when I went out, you know, they always say connect with those that you know first. Sometimes they will help you and sometimes they won't. So be prepared for those that won't. So that's what I did. I didn't worry about that. But what I did do, I went out there and started meeting new people. Wherever there are people, there's opportunity. I went to the grocery store. All of us go to the grocery store at some point. The doctor's office, the school with my daughter, traveling. I met so many amazing people. My events, I meet people. And when I meet people, I'm going to make sure that I found a way to connect with them. That's how I have arrived at where I am now. And it wasn't like I didn't have a silver platter thrown at me. And I can remember growing up as a child, my daddy was not afraid of hard work. I saw my daddy get up in the morning and go do things that I can't imagine doing, but I was right there with him. I watched him. I watched him go out and cut grass. And my daddy was in his 70s cutting neighbors' grass just so he can make sure that we had enough food on the table. We didn't have it so easy. I saw him do that. I saw him go out there and pass out sales paper for grocery stores. I saw that. I even helped him. So that's just like my kids. My kids have seen me work hard. My oldest son saw me work 2 and 3 jobs. That's how he grew up, with me working 2 and 3 jobs. My daughter grew up seeing me build Scentsy. That's what she saw. So my kids are not afraid of hard work because they've seen me work hard. So I'm not afraid of hard work because I saw my daddy work hard. So I always say, if it's worthwhile having, we'll go get it. If there's a will, we will make a way. So I know what it's like being busy. I hear people say, I'm so busy. Well, if you got a will, we'll make a way. I have a will. My will is to make sure I can provide for my family. That's my why. And that's my will. So I'm going to make a way. That's what we have to do. When we see that our backs against the wall, I've seen so many people, and I don't understand. I think maybe some people just don't understand this. When you have been blessed to have something fall in your lap or fall in your hand, but you don't know how to receive your blessing. And I've seen that happen a lot. Like the blessing is in the palm of your hand and you don't even realize it. So this Scentsy opportunity that we have is truly a blessing. How many people will we allow to see that business that we have is truly a blessing? That's how we connect with people, by showing them how this business has truly blessed us. So yesterday, while I was working my event, I received 3 messages at the same time. Now, look at God. I received 3 messages at the same time for people saying that they wanted to become a Scentsy consultant. 3. And one of them joined today. They contacted me. And I know where this is coming from because people see how consistent I am. They see me showing up on a regular basis. They see me talking about the blessings that I receive from my business. They see this because I'm very visual. I'm very vocal with sharing this. Because how else will they know? How else will they know if I'm not sharing it? They also see how I celebrate my team members. They see this. I love to shout them out. I love sharing how this business has changed so many lives. I love sharing that. People see that. And that's all they want. They just want to be in a situation where they can actually see that this works. There are a lot of things, there are a lot of scams out there. As a matter of fact, one of my team members, she's new, she signed up last month. We're in a group together, and I made a post over there about raise your hand if you are interested in becoming a Scentsy consultant for no out-of-pocket cost. So she said, is this a scam? So another one of my friends said, no, she's real. This is a real situation. She is not a scammer. So this young lady did join. She joined, and she's doing she's doing great. I am so proud of her. But yes, she thought it was a scam because there's so many out there. There are a lot of scams out there. But this is real. This is a real situation providing real opportunities. And somebody validated that, which that's why I'm out here, so people can see that I am a real person. So she called me on the phone, and that was the validation that she needed, that I was a real person, that I'm not a scam artist. Because there are scam artists out there, like, you don't know who to trust. But because people see me and they get to see the things that I've done, they get to see how I share my life. They get to see how I talk about mama, how I talk about my son. Well, first, my son was the first one. My son had a brain tumor back in 2012. I shared that. My brother had a stroke back in 2000. My younger brother, Jeff, had a stroke back in 2016. I shared that. Mama had a stroke in 2020. I shared that. My brother, Wendell, my oldest brother, he passed away of cancer this year in January. I shared that. And right before 3 years ago in 2021, Mama got really sick, was in the hospital for 3 months. I was forced out of a job for almost 40 years. I shared that. So I am now a full-time Scentsy consultant, and I share that. So my daughter is in dental school right now to become a dentist. I share that. One of my team members who became a part of my Scentsy family is a dentist. She inspired my daughter to pursue dentistry. I share that. My nephew who lives with me is autistic. He's autistic. My brother's autistic. My nephew was suicidal. last year. I shared that. My brother Jeff is having some issues with his blood counts, his white counts. He's going to have a bone marrow test next week, praying that he does not have leukemia. I share that. So being a Scentsy consultant has blessed my family in so many ways, because what it does is help me be right there, right here with them. My family needs me. And I don't know that I would have walked away from the job of almost 40 years. I don't know that I would have walked away from that because of that fear of losing that income. Sometimes fear will hold us back. It will keep us from doing things that we know we need to do, but it's something about that fear that gets in the way. But because of what happened to Mama, I was forced to make a decision. And because of the way I was treated, I was forced to make a decision. And I'm so grateful that I did. Because had I not made a decision when I did, Mama would not be here. I was Mama's voice. I was there for her. She was nonverbal. She was at the point of Mama went from 80 pounds to now Mama's healthy now. Well, you know, she's still in the hospital. I'm sorry, not hospital. She's still in a nursing home, but she's so improved since then. But because of my dedication and my commitment to her, to save her, and I'm grateful to the Scentsy opportunity because it is mobile. I was able to work it from the hospital. I could take it wherever I go, wherever my phone is. That's where my business is. So I keep saying, guys, when there is a will, we will make a way. Through all the things that I've been through all that I've just shared with you guys, challenge after challenge after challenge that I've been faced with. But because I got this will, I made a way. I never once made an excuse and said, you know what? I can't do anything with my business because I got all these things going on in my life. I'm faced with all these challenges. I can't do anything. No. When you have a will, we will make a way. There were times that I took pauses. We're human. We're human. So I took a pause to get through things sometimes. But no, you don't stop. You don't stop. When there is a will, we make a way. That's all I'm saying, guys. Because one thing about it, the mortgage got to be paid. Okay? The car payment's got to be paid. You got to pay your bills. So if you quit something when you're faced with challenge, how are you going to maintain taking care of your family, paying the bills? How you do that? How you step away from that? But I'm grateful that I can take this business with me wherever I go. And this is what I share on a regular basis. And when people see that this could be a situation that they can do, if I can do it, guys, with the very limited situation that I had coming on, you can do it. Remember, guys, when I joined Scentsy, I had 23 friends on Facebook. Now I have over 10,000 followers. Look at God, guys. Look at God. Remember, I had 23 friends on Facebook. I was not on Instagram. There was no TikTok back then. I was not on YouTube. But right now, not only do I have over 10,000 followers on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok. I think I have maybe close to 3,000 followers on TikTok. I'm on YouTube. I think I've got close to 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. I can't remember how many followers I have on Instagram. I'm on Snapchat. I'm on, what else am I on? LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter. I'm on all the platforms. I'm on Pinterest. I'm on everything. I'm out there. So I'm on Google. But I was barely touching the surface when I became a Scentsy consultant, guys. I knew that in order for me to grow with this business, and especially after 2020 when everything was shut down and we were forced to do everything online, I really took off virtually. But before then, I was doing everything face to face. So now I can do both. I can work my business both ways because before 2020, I didn't really know how to do it virtually, to be honest, but I taught myself. In 2020, I reinvented myself and I came up with like 30 some new ways to work my business online. I did that. I did that. I went to YouTube and watched videos and taught myself new ways to work my business. But I'm never, ever afraid of change because I'm always changing. Things are changing. The world is changing. We got to be able to adapt with the changes, adapt with the times. So when one thing isn't working, I'm going to shift gears. If something else is not working, I'm going to shift gears. I'm never afraid of change. I am ready. I am ready. And I'm not afraid of making mistakes because that's how we grow. That's how we learn. How in the world will we grow if we don't make mistakes? I know a lot of people are afraid of making mistakes. Like, okay, you don't have to be perfect to be powerful. And the only way we're going to learn is to go out there and do something and make mistakes. Just do something. Okay? I just wanted to share some words of encouragement with you guys because so many people message me on a regular basis about how you do this, how you do that. Are you afraid of this? Are you afraid of that? No. I'm going to do some stuff. I'm going to go out there and do some stuff. I've even had consultants to say, are you afraid of the wax melting in your business cards? No. No. People just like the way it smells. I'm not afraid of handing that out. So I'm not an overthinker either. I work and I don't worry about the rest. I don't worry about things that I don't see to be that important. That's not important to me. One thing about what we do, people love it. It's a smell that sells. I don't have to sell. It's a smell that sells. I just share it with people. That's all I do. I just share it. I don't sell it. I share it. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to share some inspirational things with you. So if you're considering becoming a consultant, I just want you to see that when there's a will, we will make a way. If you're already a consultant, if you're going through something, if you got a will, we can make a way. Okay, guys, have a great one. Happy Friday. Love you guys. Bye.